Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video we're going to be talking about a big secret that's going on. We haven't had a big secret in a while, and what I mean by big secret is one that has like a lot of steps. There's stuff that's encrypted. It's really hard to find, hard to do, hard to figure out. Maybe Jennifer was the last one that was just for a pet. Not a ton of people did that one, other than the secret finding community, of course, which is a lot of people. But we had like Waste of Time, we had Hive Mind, of course, and we go further back than that with other secrets as well. And we finally have another big secret, or what's likely to be a big secret. I guess we don't know for sure that it is, but it is like falling in that line where there's going to be lots of steps, and this could take a long time to figure out. Now, we don't know for sure, I guess, what the reward of this will be, but it's likely going to be this motorcycle. It's very similar to the one that you get from the Mountain Dew, but it's likely going to be this green one here, the incognito, the indecipherable felcycle, because of course it has to do with like secrets, right? So there's just an image of it here. If you have an add-on, I guess you can see it. It's in the game. It's just like hidden, but there's like an add-on that lets you look at like hidden mounts and stuff like that that are in the files but not in the game yet. And so there's the felcycle there. This is likely what the reward's going to be. So this, of course, has to do with this 20th anniversary event and the secret videos that I've been posting, right, with all these quests and stuff like that. So what I want to do in this video is I want to kind of explain where the secret is. It's still very early, and how we got to this point so far. So basically, we've been doing all these quests and stuff here. We've been doing the notes on the board, and we haven't expected there to be a big secret. Now, of course, there are people in the community that are always looking for a big secret, but we were not expecting it. I can say I sure wasn't. And so what basically happened is we kind of overlooked a clue and just kept going about doing the normal quest line, doing the normal stuff. You know, these videos I've been posting like every day that there's a new thing here from Alex, or there's a new thing on the board, and we've just been doing that. However, like I said, we missed a clue. Now, the reason we even found this out is because somebody found the actual step of the puzzle without the clue. Basically, hard finding it. Again, because some people did think there was a big secret and they were looking for stuff. So during one of the quests, there was a note on the ground that said what the mount contest was going to be. And this is for the Mount Mania here, where I'm at right now. And they said that there's a note, and one of the, there was a Winter Spring, there was a Mulgore. There were different mounts, but this is the zones they're in. There was Ungoro Crater, and then there was Strathholm, were like the locations. And so somebody was just in Ungoro Crater with their Pyrath torch out, and they were just looking around Ungoro Crater, and they found an item. And this item ends up being important. People are going crazy about it and stuff like that. And then that leads to people trying to figure out, what did we miss? How did we get here? Why were we there? Was it because of the mount list? Blizzard releases a blue post saying, hey, you guys, they didn't want to give too big of a hint, but they're like, hey, you guys might have missed something. So everybody goes back through the old quests, trying to figure out what we missed. Now, I did, and it's not just me, like I saw like tens of people figure this out. I did kind of figure out where it was and why it was there, and I'll show. I have images to show you of where everything is so far. Before we get even further into the weeds, there, if you want to participate in this, you just need to come here to the anniversary event and do at least the introductory quest line from Alex here. And if you haven't done it yet, and then that'll unlock this Torch of Pyrath. It'll unlock your, assuming you didn't do the secret event last year in Dragonflight, it'll unlock your Idol Lenara. If you already have these things, it's fine. I think you can just join up and do it. And the thinking cap as well. So there's 3 toys that you use to solve secrets now, and that'll unlock these. And this is kind of important because the torch, for example, it's almost like there's objects in the game that are encrypted, and then when you get close to it with your torch, it like unencrypts it and you can see it, right? And this is to stop like people from cheating with like cache NPC scan type things or whatever. And so this is kind of to stop those from happening, which is kind of cool. So that's how you can get started on it. So let's first pull up what was found first. So what was found first is here. It's an image of Ungoro Crater. So if you don't know where this is where all the NPCs used to be at in Ungoro Crater before Cataclysm. And if you played back in Classic, you'll recognize this open tree stump because that's where Lincoln used to be. Lincoln is a homage to Link from Zelda, and there was a whole big quest line with him. It's a secret to everybody, which is kind of interesting as well. And so yeah, the person came in here with their torch and it lit up and unlocked a key inside this tree stump, okay? And now let me show you what the key is. So the key that was found first, just by luck, is this key over here. This inert peculiar key, peculiar key, and then you socket a gem into the key, and it's an old battered key, and it has a socket in it, right? And then if you try to right click it, it says missing reagent peculiar gem. So obviously people had already data mined this, but this confirms that the item peculiar gem is what we kind of need for this key. And so now people are like trying to figure out the next step of this. So the first thing we did was we went back, and pretty much everybody was doing this, and a few people actually figured it out. I can't remember who exactly did, and I don't think it necessarily mattered. It wasn't me, so I'm not going to take the credit. But here, this is one of the areas you go to during the quest, right? And this is what we missed. So these are wisps over a pond. Now, what you can't see in the image is right to the right, there's like a little fishing shack, and that's where we had to go for the quest. There were all these notes on the ground, and we had to pick up the notes. This is in Borean Tundra. I'll show you where it's at on the map if you want to go there. I'll show you the Ungoro Crater as well. And all the notes were over here, just barely off screen to the right. But however, our little idol was also pointing to this little pond, but there was nothing there that we could click on or interact with. So it ends up being, first of all, if you look, there's a few different clues here. There's at least three clues here. And you might be like, what the heck are the clues? So there's at least three. Number one involves fishing. If you fish in this, well, number one, these are called distracting wisps. So we thought they were just a distraction, right? But no, they were a distraction that you're supposed to get distracted by. So if you fish in this little pond, you'll get your normal stuff that you would get. But you could also get some of these other items. You could get an old chain link, and you could get a gnome effigy as two things you could get. Now, Link is a gnome that was in Ungoro Crater. For me, that immediately made sense because I already thought it was the Lincoln quest line because of the tree stump, because it was already found. So it kind of just fell into place from there. Another thing is, those wisps, if you look at them from above, it looks like the Constellation Crater. I've never heard of this constellation before. You can Google Constellation Crater, and the layout of these wisps, so you can go there, look at it, looks exactly like it. So Crater, Ungoro Crater, a gnome, and Link, chain link. Now there's even another clue. From the chain link, this item is item 17-7, or excuse me, rewind a little bit here. Old chain link stacks up to 17 instead of like 20. The stack goes to 17. It also sells for 17 copper. 1717 item ID is a tunic, a double chain link tunic, right? Or armor or whatever. It's like mail armor or something. And so 2 mentions of Link plus a gnome effigy plus the Constellation Crater for whatever reason. And that basically confirms, the first location that we found the key. So first, let's show you Ungoro Crater. It's right here next to Tenaris. If you want to go find it yourself, it's right up here near the cave at the top of Ungoro Crater, and you'll see the tree stump that I showed you in the image, and you'll be able to find it right there. It'll be pretty easy. If you have this torch and you want to grab the key, you can do that, and you can just grab the key. The place where the wisps are. So let's say you want to go to the wisps. And of course, when this is solved, I'll have a full guide of this with coordinates, with everything, right? This is just to get anybody else started that's like maybe not in the community and the secret finding community or whatever. The wisps are somewhere right around here. It's right underneath. So you see this giant floating, gosh, I can't think of what it's called anymore. The thing next to Ramus is the giant floating fortress, we'll just call it. It has an actual name, but right underneath this, on the western side of it, is like you'll see it in the air above you, is a fishing shack next to that pond that I was showing you. So that's where the wisps are, and we were supposed to look in there, fish, look at the wisps and see the constellation. Whatever way was supposed to get us to our Ongoro crater, basically. So at this point, we actually don't know where to go from here. We know we may be looking for that gem, the peculiar gem. We know that's about it. That's all we actually know for sure in game. There's some stuff that was like data mining by Wowhead and everybody else, but that's what we know in game. That's our only clue to go with, is this key. However, people love to just try to brute force things, and so another thing was found that was not meant to be. It was meant to be found, but it wasn't like given a clue to, and that is here in the Mechanar. So I'll show you where Mechanar is. Basically, it's a dungeon from Burning Crusade. If you enter the Mechanar and head just straight to the right until you see stuff like this in this image here, and then there's this hatch right over here. Can you see my mouse? Yep. So this hatch right over here to my character's right, behind this little pillar, there's a hatch. It's not normally there. As up here, you can see it's called a hidden hatch. Now, if you actually click on it, it says something along the lines of something was here, but it was moved a long time ago. So there's something here and it got moved and taken away. So this was found. However, it does not interact with your torch. It doesn't interact with your idol of Inara, idol. It doesn't interact with anything. So it's not. That also is kind of a hint that it maybe wasn't meant to be found yet, but it is there, and we likely need to find the clue now that got us here. So what told us to go to the Mechanar? Now, people, there was like logic to the madness because of the socket clue, socketing the key. Somebody was just looking at Naru places, and the Mechanar, the Tempest Keep, was a big time Naru area before it got taken over, and Exodar was like part of that. And so they went to Netherstorm. They searched everywhere in Netherstorm. They went They went to another zone. They said maybe it was just Shathrath City, and then they're like, well, I'll try the Mechanar, and they go in the Mechanar and they find it, right? And it's just brute forcing, but it is what it is. So we're trying to find the clue. So that's everything we know so far, for sure. And we also know that everything is in the game to be solved, but we might not have the clues yet, right? So basically, we could find that hatch, we could find another part, we could find another part, we could find all the parts. Maybe we can't complete them yet because they're not like activated by us having an item or something, but we could find everything in the game right now. And so people are trying to do that, basically trying to brute force it. From what has been said by Blizzard, because they did do that clarification message, and there is a Blizzard employee in the Secret Finding Discord, it's likely that maybe these brute force, you can kind of brute force, but not really. He said that there are things in place to stop you from completely brute forcing it. In my opinion, means you're gonna have to have an item in your bag or something that you got from a previous clue. So you're gonna have to do it in somewhat of an order, would be my guess, which is probably why you can't open the hatch. Maybe the hatch opens with the key, for an example, right? It's very possible. So yeah, I'm super excited. I've been spending all my free time on this, so I figured I would make a video for this because this is what I'm like obsessed with this stuff. I love it. I spent so much time doing the Jennifer thing, and I basically didn't do any videos on it at all, except for the guide once it was finally figured out. Because, yeah, I mean, it's not something I could do a video on every day or anything like that, right? But maybe like a weekly video of, okay, this is where we are in the secret or something like that. And then, of course, once it gets completely figured out, do a guide for it. So, yeah, if you're new to this right now and you're just like, holy crap, this is a lot to take in, you might have a ton of ideas of where to check. Honestly, I probably already checked there. You can still give your ideas. Or you can just go in the game and check it yourself or whatever. Go to the 3 places. You don't have to go to the hatch by any means. You probably need to get the key from Ongoro Crater. And then you probably don't have to go to the wisps at all, but you can just go see the wisps if you didn't see them before. Right now, you pretty much, as of making this video at least, all you can really do is go grab that key and try to figure out where the gem is, or the clue to the hatch. What was the clue to go to the hatch? And, maybe tomorrow they'll find another thing by brute force, and we won't know what that clue was either. But maybe that clue will be more obvious, and then we can figure out the previous clue. Who knows, right? It's gonna be like backfilled at this point. or backtracked or reverse engineered at this point. It's also possible that some of the stuff isn't unlocked yet. So, like I said, it was during that quest from Alex here at the event where we go to that shed with that pond with the wisps, right? So we might not have done a quest yet to see the next clue, right? We could just go places and find the next clue if we brute forced it enough, but we might not have been actually sent there yet. That's also possible. So we might have just not seen it yet. Of course, people are backtracking all of these quests. That's going to probably be the first thing you think of. Go backtrack these quests. Of course, that is what people are doing, and including myself. I am going to go back and actually watch each of my own videos on these and just see if, like, did I miss anything, and things like that, because I have backtracked them all, but and many other people have even more thoroughly than I have. But yeah, it's something I'm super excited about. Like I said, I spent a lot of time on it. Maybe I'll do like a weekly update, a bi-weekly update, depending on how long this thing's taking, of course. And then, of course, I will have a guide up when this thing's done. But I just wanted, especially since I know this is obviously, this channel is mostly like, honest, if I'm just being honest, it's mostly like Ret Paladin players. But obviously we have some secret finding people here as well. And in case you didn't know that this is going on, I wanted you to know what's going on. So, yeah, that'll be it for this one. Obviously, if it gets solved, you'll see a guide up. It'll be a long guide, detailed coordinates, go to every location, show every location, what to do, how to do it. I've done guides on all the major secrets since I started making videos, at least. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And like I said, I'll give updates if it's going to be something that takes a long time. Like, okay, 2 weeks from today, we found one more clue. Like, maybe I'll give an quick update about that. Maybe I'll just put it in the This Week in WoW videos. I don't know. But it's something I'm super excited about. My son's super excited about it, and he's been like trying to help me in his own little ways and stuff, which is kind of funny and cool. But yeah, so that's it. That's it for this one, guys. Just wanted to introduce you to it. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe. Helps me out a lot. And other than that, everybody have a good one.